My brother told our parents, "She's just a woman. Give the family business to me." They listened and cut me out completely. I was heartbroken, until the lawyer smiled and said, "Actually, your grandfather left something just for you." When my brother saw it, his smug face disappeared instantly. Revenge time. I never thought my own family would betray me, but when money and power are involved, blood doesn't mean a damn thing. Let me start from the beginning. I grew up in a family where business was everything. My grandfather built a small manufacturing company from the ground up in the 1950s. It started with one tiny workshop and grew into a mid-sized operation with contracts all over the state. It wasn't a billion-dollar empire, but it provided us with a comfortable life. My dad and uncle took over after my grandfather retired, and the plan was always for the next generation to step in one day. My older brother, Nick, and I were raised to take part in it. I loved that company. I spent my summers in the office learning logistics, payroll, and operations. By the time I was 25, I knew the business inside and out. Nick, not so much. Nick saw the company as his birthright, but he had zero interest in the actual work. He partied through college, barely scraped by, and came back with a business degree he never really used. While I was working 60-hour weeks making sure everything ran smoothly, he would breeze in late, sit through a few meetings, then head off to play golf or meet his friends at some overpriced bar. Still, I thought when the time came, my parents would be fair. I was so wrong. The betrayal. A few months before my grandfather passed, my parents called us in for a family discussion. I remember sitting in the dining room, already feeling uneasy, because my brother had this smug, self-satisfied look on his face. My dad cleared his throat and said, "We've decided that Nick will take over the company when we retire." I thought I misheard him. "What?" I asked, looking between them. "What about me?" My mother had the nerve to pat my hand like I was some clueless child. "Sweetheart, you'll still be involved, of course, but as your brother's support." Support? I had worked my ass off for years, and they expected me to just stand behind Nick, cleaning up his messes while he ran the company into the ground. Nick leaned back in his chair, smirking. "Come on, sis, it's not personal. It just makes sense. I'm the eldest son. I'll be the face of the company, you can handle the little details. You know, the stuff women are good at." I saw red. I looked at my dad, waiting for him to correct Nick, to say something, anything. But he just nodded. I turned to my mom. She smiled like she'd just given me a thoughtful gift. "You'll still have a good salary, dear. It's not like you'll be left out." I pushed my chair back. "I can't believe this." "Don't be dramatic," Nick said. "It's just business. Just business." That night I cried like a fool. Not just because of the company, but because I finally saw the truth. I was never going to be seen as equal to Nick. Not in their eyes. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how much I gave, I would always be just the daughter. So I made my decision. I was done. The next morning, I walked into my dad's office and quit. "You're overreacting," he said, shaking his head. "No," I told him, "I'm just finally seeing things clearly." And I left. I started looking for other jobs, but it was tough. My entire career had been tied to the family business. I had tons of experience but no outside connections. I was struggling, but I refused to crawl back. Then everything changed. The will. A few months later, my grandfather passed away. It was devastating. I had been incredibly close to him, and unlike my parents, he actually believed in me. After the funeral, we all gathered in a lawyer's office for the reading of the will. My parents weren't worried. My grandfather had sold off most of his personal assets years ago, so there wasn't much left. They assumed everything would just officially pass to them. The lawyer went through the standard stuff, some charitable donations, a few sentimental items to old friends. Then he got to me. "To my granddaughter," the lawyer read, "I leave something I know she will appreciate." I frowned. I wasn't expecting anything. Then the lawyer pulled out another folder. "This," he said, sliding it toward me, "is a separate trust. Your grandfather left you full ownership of his original workshop, the one he started the company in." My dad sat up. "What?" The lawyer continued. "The land, the building, and everything inside it. All yours." I blinked. I had no idea my grandfather still owned it. He had moved the company to a bigger facility decades ago, and I assumed the old workshop had been sold or repurposed. But apparently, he had kept it. And now it was mine. Nick laughed. "Great, she gets an old warehouse. Meanwhile, I'm running an actual company." The lawyer smiled. "There's one more thing." He pulled out another document. Along with the property, your grandfather also left you all of his original patents. Nick's smirk vanished. See, our grandfather had invented several key manufacturing processes that our company still used. He had never sold the rights, just licensed them to the company. Which meant that now, I owned them. I looked at the paperwork in front of me. The patents weren't just valuable, they were essential. Our family business couldn't operate without them. Nick turned to my dad. Fix this, he hissed. But there was nothing they could do. Now you can watch the second part by pressing share and more.